Hello, Tapioca Hearts here, signing in. Welcome back to Heaven Will Be Mine. Last time I became acquainted with Saturn, the character I decided to start out as first. She's very cool, very sick with it behind the controls of the ship self, String of Pearls, which looks like Mewtwo. And I love Saturn's personality so far. She is very, very self-motivated. She's ready to just prove herself, to do her own thing, and I love it. I'm so behind it. She stole her ship self and she's on her way to the moon. Much to the ire of Mercury and Japetus, who seem to be higher ups in the organization that she's in. He was the second choice anyway. It'll be fine. But I like Saturn very much so far. And put a ring on it. But I'm sure she has plenty of rings. I'm sure girls are lining up to get in her DMs. Speaking of, I engaged in the comms last episode, but I didn't really get very far. No, I got far into the comms, but for some reason they reloaded, which is fine. It seems to be just a flavor text thing in the first place. But yeah, I just kind of took Saturn into the depths of space, and I'm gonna see where that continues to take her. I learned a lot about the different factions and kind of the approach that humanity is taking. I'm already getting a feel for the themes of this game and the symbolism regarding branching out beyond what is familiar into untold territory, as well as building a better version of yourself, becoming less human to do so, at least in the eyes of others and perhaps in the eyes of yourself, in order to live a more fulfilling and true life. And well, I'm all for it. So now I'm going to choose a mission to start with. And I think for this first mission, I'm going to do Saturn Return. In the strange gravity of the abandoned Daphnis lab, Saturn lies in wait for the looming threat of Pluto's mysterious ship. But what are they after, and will they get it? Well, I wonder, last time I thought that Saturn had she-they pronouns, but I wonder if it's just that Pluto's pronouns are they-them. That would also make sense. But either way, I'm gonna pick it. Confirm. Launch. Right into it. Mercury, what do you mean I can feel her presence? Please do not try to sound that cool. I can feel her presence. Everyone can feel her presence. I can feel it right now. How could you even possibly ignore something like that, Saturn? Shut up. I mean, I can feel it physically. Oh. Wait, what? How exactly? I'm going to throw up. It's like I'm spinning upside down and can't... That sounds terrible on every sense of the word. I hate that. Anyway. Are you sure you haven't somehow concussed yourself or given yourself gravity sickness from all of the damage you've managed to inflict on yourself in the past 12 hours? Yes, and it's on top of all that, and also, shut up. String of Pearls is feeding me sensory information on the direct line. I'm a human being with 5 senses, and she's trying to cram a dozen more into me. That sounds way too overstimulating. So, from what I can tell, I guess she's dealing with immediate issues. That much is clear. I'm just going to continue. By direct line, you are in fact talking about the extremely creepy physical interface connection between you and the string of pearls, correct? Oh, I love it. I love the physical connection and the symbolism that that can have with a pilot and their mech, or in this case, a ship self. It's very nice. Okay, I already read this. It really, really is, right? I also totally did a different voice starting out for Saturn than I did last time. Oops. It's truly incredible how we agree about everything and still feel the opposite about it. Is this why you keep hesitating before giving the intel? Yes, because you're going to do the opposite of what you should do with it. But I also can't not tell you, because you might die. Though running support for you is an incredibly anxiety-inducing affair. Honestly, he gives the vibes of someone who, doesn't want this, maybe she wants the support, but she gives the vibes of someone who's, so confident in herself that she feels like she doesn't need it. It must be hard. Thank you for acknowledging it. So, you can tell me what's after me? You've already figured it out, haven't you? But yes, it's that Cradles Graces masterwork. Celestial mechanics traded the knowledge for how to finish String of Pearls in exchange for what they needed to finish the Croon Macula. There's that again, the Croon Macula. It would be pretty funny if they got us this way in the end. It's headed directly to the lab. We've already evacuated on the capital ship, but you are its highest priority. Did I play bait? If anything, it's more important for you to get back to the native sphere first. In order for us to make contact, we need the String of Pearls. We believe if you hide in the abandoned Daphnis lab, you can use the decaying gravity furnace for cover. That's sensible. But bait sounds like a lot more fun, you know? Oh, we're playing cat and mouse. Okay. Oh dear, okay. It's time for the gay bait. That's what I'm calling it. Oh, come on. Japanese must think their pilot is a real idiot if she's going to waste her time on a wild goose chase like that. He wouldn't just sacrifice you like that. I don't know. In the last part, I very much got the impression that Japanese and Mercury, wouldn't mind being rid of Saturn. But it seems like he's actually protective of her now, at least. And she seems to acknowledge that they aren't very protective of her either, that they would be okay with losing her. He would. There must be backups for making contact. Just because I'm the easiest option doesn't mean I'm the only one. He's testing to see if I'm worth investing in or just going to get myself killed. Why run? Why not have it out with her? I bet she's thinking the same thing too. Be careful, Saturn. If you can tell what they're thinking, they can tell what you're thinking. But then I can tell what they're thinking, and then they can tell what I'm thinking. It's like 5D chess in space with presumably women-loving women. Sounds like a party. Please, if I could really do something like that, they wouldn't have kicked me out of the pilots. I thought she was second in command. I guess she was permanently benched. Then how do you know the pilot's a she? Oh, hell yes. Because boys can't pilot. Daphnis, the tiny shepherd moon, so small it barely earns the name, tumbles through the Keller Gap, ruffling the rings of the planet in orbit. It houses the last official laboratory of Earth's decommissioned space program, training ground of failures like Saturn and special girls like Pluto. Okay. Interesting. So, also the music is really loud. I'm gonna try to fix that real quick. Sorry. gonna try to lower that a bit. I'm gonna try to lower that a bit. Oh. Let me know if that's better. Anyways. So, okay, well, first of all, the fact that there's abandoned outposts on these moons is immediately reminding me of Lethal Company, which anyone that knows me know that I play that game very frequently. Official Laboratory of Earth's Decommissioned Space Program. So that's where both Pluto and Saturn learned. Saturn remembers it feeling cramped, anxious, and scary. No, wait. Pluto remembers it that way. Saturn remembers when it used to feel so special to be chosen, a candidate for the last generation of pilots. Ooh, are their thoughts mingling too? Is there like something like all the ship selves are connected and they're getting each other's thoughts? Either way. But didn't Pluto feel that way too? Sometimes too, or it could just be nuanced emotions. That's more simple. Sometimes two things are true. In this place, gravity is quietly degenerating, and distances are becoming ambiguous between past and present, between me and you. The Daphnis lab seems smaller to Saturn now, though not as tiny as it feels to Pluto. And that's obvious. No longer people-sized, she tears through it like worms in an apple. But there's a much bigger worm here, and she doesn't know anymore if this was a good idea. Where what was a good idea? Shouldn't it be... Excuse me? Where what? Shouldn't it be what was a good... either way. Saturn doesn't have any ideas. She's just trying to hide. Even though there's no place where you cannot be felt by me? Is there a conversation going on? Is the blue text Pluto? She doesn't know if that was a good idea. Where what was a good idea? Okay. I think there's a Alert! Alert! Tidal resonance IFF. Confirms enemy. Warning. Gravitational hazard. Danger. Pressure exceeding safe range. I know, it's extremely exciting. Stop making me so nervous. Supermassive, small enough to hide in this complex, but with a dual reactor denser than the entire moon, compressed into the... That sounds terrifying. Excuse me? That's a bomb waiting to happen. An hour ago when Saturn felt the gravitational pull of something so big and so close and so powerful, the interior of her cockpit... Girl, that's called having a crush. Creaked with the pressure, and her head, heart, and eyes welled up with tears. Something that couldn't be anyone other than Pluto. Whoa, she must be pretty big, huh? So why is she so hard to find? Saturn has no idea. Why do I have the feeling someone's laughing at me right now? No one is laughing at Saturn. The lab's been abandoned for years. I bet Pluto's probably laughing at her, though. Oh, that's so interesting that, like, they have that inherent connection. Even on two opposing factions, they will have that inherent mental link to one another. But Pluto, wherever she is, giggles. Not in a mean way. She really does think it's cute. I haven't thought about Pluto in a long time. Oh man, it would be really funny if she was in that monster. Well, now someone is laughing at Saturn. Hey, now I know someone's here. I can feel you listening. But I can hear you, too. And I can catch you. You're not the only one who can fuck with the narrative. Oh. Loyal. Outcome favors celestial mechanics, narrow escape. Mutually assured destruction. Betray. Outcome favors Cradles Graces. Interesting. I think Saturn would maybe have more fun with the narrow escape. Like, she could, like, toy with Pluto, have some fun with her, but then get out before things get too serious. I'll go with that. Good at bad decisions. I got a trophy for, not a trophy, an award. It's easiest to not get caught if you don't care about catching anything. It's just about knowing there isn't a difference. Focusing deeper. And focusing deeper. The real celestial mechanics, the interactions of bodies in space via the forces of gravity. The weight of mass. Oh, sorry. Supposed to put on her voice. The weight of mass and culture. Explained by the story behind them. That's just science. With your own gravity, reach out and pull. Hello! Ooh, what voice to do for them. And what voice to do for them indeed. Oh, good girl. You know just what to do. Do you like what you caught? The Croon Macula towers over Saturn. Hello. Oh, this is interesting looking. A muggus. It doesn't look like an Among Us character, but I had to. Pluto's ship is so big it barely fits on the lab complex, but it's only a speck compared to how big it feels. Massive enough to... What do you mean massive enough to warp local spacetime? Saturn's ship looks like it's like human-sized. It looks Mewtwo-sized. Pluto's ship also looks like a human, but you're telling me that thing is like planetary? Massive enough to warp local spacetime, sure thing. Humming and vibrating with nebula dust, and absolutely effortlessly gentle. Without Pluto's most delicate touch, the Croon Macula would have destroyed Saturn and the whole complex without even trying. Okay. Pluto has the power to destroy, but decides to protect. Which is kind of fitting for her design. She very much has this like soft design to her. To them, sorry. I think they have they them pronoun. Either way. How much do you trust it? I knew you'd be right behind me or something. If you did, how come you're not facing this one? I'm an idiot, I guess. You've come a long way just to be an idiot. You must know exactly what this ship can do, right? Did you come to fight me on purpose? That's really brave and really cute. Oh, this is gonna be a problem. This is gonna be a problem. Oh, beautiful women all around me. Beautiful people. If you can touch me, I can mm-hmm. Uh-huh. This can all be true. If you can touch me, I can touch you. Remember that for various reasons. So I'm not getting close. You came all this way, not even to fight. Oh, that's not cute at all. But it's smart. Hey, don't underestimate me. I'm scary, okay? Look at, I like her little, like, grumpy face. Cute. You think? Maybe I believe you. You things can also be scary. Yeah, I mean, think about Pokemon, right? Like, mimic you. But I'm curious now. I was worried you were going to waste your chances mugging your new machine, but you're pretty clever. You want to talk without fighting? Oh dear. Okay. So, if you're good, otherwise I'll fight. No, like these two clearly have history together. Saturn and Pluto, obviously, they went to like the academy together. They were trained as pilots together, and yet ended up on opposite sides of this conflict. But Saturn seems to be non-confrontational, but Pluto like is kind of like egging her on, like trying to get her to engage. But Saturn just wants to talk it through. Maybe Pluto like genuinely wants to get the victory over Saturn here, like physically. But I think Saturn like wants to just have a conversation with them and try to like come to a truce intellectually. So, what did you want to talk about? As Cradles Graces' glittering psychic death machine, you definitely have more important things to do than go out of your way to bully me for no reason, right? Oh, that's right. That man and Fleet are escaping, aren't they? Hope you don't mind falling for this trap. Oh, Saturn. She's so... He's a crafty one. I like that about her. Trap, you silly. Trap, you silly. I know you're more important than that. There's so many dynamics at play, like, already that I kind of, like... It's difficult for me to, like, make, like, assumptions or theories. Because it feels like things could change on a dime. More than catching the rest of the Celestial Mechanics fleet? I knew this would be fun, and you knew it too, didn't you? I'm absolutely delighted about you doing that, just to be clear, so you don't have to read my mind to roast me about it. I can't read minds, you know that's not how it works. But I also don't need to know that. These two know each other well, for sure. But I did want to know how the biggest overachiever of my juniors turned into such a bad girl. Okay. Saturn's definitely an overachiever. She, like, is going the full distance to prove herself. If you really remembered me, you'd remember I wasn't ever good. The language is reminding me of Neptune. Right? Like, it's so Neptune. Like, that's the vibes I'm getting from Saturn. He has that similar, like, confidence in herself, but it's like, it very well could be masking insecurity. She has that same, like, bad girl attitude. I do remember you. Even if you're not that good at being bad, do you know what you're doing? That machine that's so dangerous, we don't even want to find out what it does. I don't see how String of Pearls could be any more dangerous than this thing that apparently can literally warp space-time. Sure. I think you answered your own question about why I am keeping it. Are you gonna stop me then? But you don't want to. Hey, stop. Don't pry into me. If you're pitying me, I will make you regret it. Not all of us come out perfect like you. Some of us get thrown out before they see any use at all. Oh boy. I won't pity you. I really would have torn this machine apart. Look at their face. They're like, that glint in their eye, they are so ready to tear shit up. But now that I'm here, gifted little mutant, I can't bear to. Because some of us just haven't been thrown out yet. Lab-grown girls like us should stick together. I might still make you regret it, Pluto. Winning isn't my most important task. It's not yours either. Are you sure about that? You're not who I'm worried about. I'm only... Oh, bleh. It's only your boss I can't forgive. Oh, I love hearing that. Tell me more. More. Yep. I'm getting a crush already. Regretting it now. Oh, that look in her eyes. Regretting it now. Don't worry. There's nothing you can make me regret. Day 2! Okay. Okay, Celestial Mechanics alignment. Goodness gracious. That was a lot. I kind of have trouble processing it when I'm voice acting it. But it seems to me that both of them went in with the initial mindset of genuine conflict. At least Pluto did. But through their conversation and their reminiscence about their shared upbringing, their shared trauma, very much so, they grew to kind of placate one another and decide not to engage in further combative action. They seem to be still antagonistic towards one another, of course, but there's not any malice, I think, between them. In fact, some of that comment by Saturn at the end could be very legit, where she is feeling a crush towards Pluto. Especially because of Pluto's nature of being someone that maybe Saturn doesn't think she's maybe Saturn is jealous of Pluto because Saturn is someone who had to prove herself, whereas Pluto was kind of, as far as I can tell, handpicked. Gonna have to see more of their dynamics, but for now I'll check out the comms of today. Oh dear. Okay. I hope my voice acting gets better as the series goes on. I'm new to this whole YouTube thing. I'm not very good at voice acting yet. I'm sorry. Mercury, listen, it's an emergency. I'm sorry about everything, but it's important, okay? You have to tell Commander. Oh my god. I am getting so late. Oh boy. I'm logging off. Bye. I was not fooled for even a second that this would be useful. Really? Not even for a second? I no longer experience hope as a concept. That's a really good line. I no longer hope as a concept. You freed me from it. Oh, stop. I'm blushing. Oh my goodness. What do you want from me, Saturn? You know... Oh. Do you know any discreet voices to make out on Aries? I am now making it my mission to make sure that this girl gets laid by the end of the game. Um, Hopefully with Pluto, because like if like honestly the rivals action could be wild. I think it could play out to be a really cute dynamic. Goodbye, Saturn. Also, here's the test output today, or whatever. Saturn, goodbye. Aren't you gonna read me the data analysis? If it is indeed data you're sending this time and not just nudes. Oh dear. What is happening? What is happening? That's rude. I always ask before I send them to you. I don't mind acting as the official art director of Saturn's nudes since you need it so badly and it's substantially less tedious than data analysis. Okay, I'm starting to get a better understanding of these two's dynamic. I don't think he dislikes her at all. I think that, like, they're besties, but he takes the job more seriously, at least in a by-the-book manner, where she takes it more seriously in a we need to get shit done manner, which I appreciate. That's kind of like my mindset a lot of the time. And I think he's her wingman, and he just, is so tired of it. But if you were as punctual about sending data as cockpit selfies, I would have a lot more data to report. Why are you so incredulous all the time? You stole the prototype, might I remind you? You can't just continue the field testing as if nothing happened. Why not? Because why would you do anything you didn't want to? Oh, she's semicolon V, or I guess not a V, but winky face. What are you planning? I love her. I love her. I love the characterization so much. Fine. They've been dying for it anyway. Oh, how'd I do? How'd I do? Ellipses. Question mark. Oh, this is not bad. Pretty useful. He typed through tears. Not wistfully, but he typed through tears, mournfully and scornfully, pained by the fact that his coworker actually gets her job fucking done. Nerd. Is the actual pilot of String of Pearls still stuck in the locker? Please tell me they are. I can't believe your ship self-expanded so much already. What have you been doing with it? I think I've been hinting very clearly how. I instantly regret this question. I'm not even gonna try to surmise how. You're supposed to test the prototype in combat. Same difference. Can't believe we invented a ship designed to get into trouble and didn't think, oh, Saturn is the obvious choice for this. She's spitting. She's telling the truth right here. We both know why. You were an even more obvious choice than me. I don't see how. Fuck Japetus for throwing us both out like trash. Come on, aren't you a little happy to see a little havoc in his perfect garden? His Garden of Eden, maybe? Maybe she's like, ooh, the sinner biting the apple in the Garden of Eden. She wants out of this paradise and to sculpt her own paradise. I'll be looking forward to you collecting new data. Attaboy. Pat pat. Ow. Panel closed. Okay. Mail and alerts. Anything new? 2 new emails. Okay. Mercury interviews. Memorial Foundation. Generation 3 pilot intake. Don't worry, it's just a checkup. Historically untrustworthy scenario. Just questions. Not really a great way to set my mind at ease. Just answer the questions, wise guy. Vertigo. Lost balance. No. Eating habits? No. No! Oh god. Okay, Mercury's definitely a troublemaker too. He's just having fun with it. They're just having fun with it. Maybe I should just be using they them pronouns for everybody. When I played We Know the Devil, I used just any pronouns that made sense in the moment. But that resulted in me thinking Jupiter was Jupiter, right? Yeah, Jupiter. That resulted in me thinking Jupiter was going to be a he they, which did not end up being the case. Sorry, spoilers. But ultimately it's fine. And if you headcanon Jupiter that way, that's perfectly fine. If I absolutely promised neither I nor anyone else would do anything at all to stop you from being exactly who you want or from whatever changes you do, you at least answer my questions. Sometimes. Maybe. Okay, that's good enough for me. We're just curious if it's a side effect of life in space, or the educational programming of Dr. Nix, or in reference to the behavior of Japanese. No, that's backwards. Everyone else seems to get to do whatever they want without limits in space. Why is it weird when I do it? Yeah, people should be able to live. Oh. Is Mercury a trans man? Oh. Mercury's a trans boy. Hell yeah, good for him. Why is it weird when I do it? We want to test for the effects of space alone, so self-induced changes have to be controlled for. Don't ask what's in my endocrine system. It is my endocrine system. Speak your fucking truth, King. People's medical history is their private business, and they are allowed to do whatever they want to their bodies with informed consent. Fine. Testosterone, and I put it there because I wanted it there. Is that enough? Well, I guess that is what I needed to know. If you promise not to ask me about it again, I'll give you all the data I cataloged about the change. Okay, I get it. You're starting to get it. Stop treating me like a girl, and I'll know you've really got it. Okay. Good for him. And then recommended tactic. The string of pearls is configured for specific outward expressions of gravity, tidal forces. The dissonant rhythm of this reactor makes peaceful tidal communication risky and difficult. Be cautious despite the range and penetration this unit is capable of. The electromagnetic conductors have liquefied the electrical energy into a corrupting material, form of theoretical matter that should be used as the primary engagement tool. As a seducer-saboteur model, the unit's functions are inherently insidious. Rather than armor, the plastics are infinitely malleable and regenerate. Safer to take damage head-on as an opportunity to infect rather than avoid, but the unit can be contained, restrained, and impeded physically and tidally. Okay. I guess with that, I will start my next mission, which I'm kind of being shuttled into Joyride Killjoy. So I get to hang out with Lunaterra this time. And I will see exactly what that's like next time. Thanks for watching. See you later.